Hello out there in Radio Land. This is Ronny Dawson with your 2017 UFO Roswell Festival recap. I know you've been waiting on this, and we are glad to be back from that long, arduous trip into the high plains of New Mexico. We left Friday in the minivan, or as my friend Rick likes to call it, the loser cruiser. We had some problems first right out of the box. We drove 100 miles out of the way to pick up my friend Rick, who was supposed to travel with me and his wife Brenda. And he's babysitting an oil rig close to Big Lake, Texas. And after driving out there, he found out that he wasn't going to be able to get off. So we went 100 miles out of our way. But we did stop at Pecos and get some tamales. I think 10,000 calories and 5 pounds heavier. We came rolling into Roswell, me and Brenda. Brenda, unsuspectingly, was suddenly promoted to cameraman for Ronny Dawson, which is a strenuous job. When she asked what it paid, I told her, first of all, you get a UFO Buster Radio koozie and a UFO Buster Radio stress star for those times when you can feel the stress of the moment. You get to travel around the UFO Festival with semi-famous Ronny Dawson, and also you only have to pay the gas one way on the trip. And she agreed to pay the gas on the way back, and I'd pay the gas on the way up there, but it never occurred to me that it's all downhill back to Texas on the way back, so I think she put one on me. She is a sly and crafty person. But as far as cameraman, she is not much of a cameraman. In fact, she's kind of, if you've ever seen the Andy Taylor show, she's built about like Aunt B, except Aunt B can raise her skirt and run. Brenda has 2 speeds. It's slow and stop, and it's hard to distinguish the difference between the two because she's not that agile. Anyway, when you go to Roswell, they got like 4 different stages. They're scattered across about 3 miles, and there's about a half mile of vendor booths. And trying to herd Brenda through the vendor booths is like trying to herd a group of cats. Yes, it's not that good a thing. Anyway, I told Brenda that her job would be to video record Ronny Dawson meeting famous people in the ufology field if such an occurrence should happen. And at this job she failed miserably to some extent. Anyway, we were excited to get to Roswell, and we made our way to the UFO Museum, and surprisingly enough, I was amazed at how many celebrities there are just around the place. And I mean, if you want to meet somebody, I seen Travis Walton sitting over there, and there was a short line to talk to him. And I mean, yeah, not the kind of like waiting for the log ride at Six Flags Over Texas in the middle of August line. I'm talking, if you're willing to wait 2 or 3 minutes, you can just about meet and shake hands and greet some of the top people in the ufology field. And a lot of these guys I don't know, but I did see Travis Walton over there, and I wanted the opportunity to talk to him, and I waited in line just a little bit, and sure enough, I got to talk to Travis Walton for probably 5 minutes, and I knew that his fiance is she like organizes the International UFO Conference, so I made sure to talk to her too, and I was hoping my cameraman, Brenda, would like get some photos of this, but no, Brenda's over there staring at the floor. Brenda's over there staring at the ceiling. Brenda is in another world over there, and she stole somebody's seat. They had to go speak. She sat down at some speaker's table at an empty chair, and well, so she can't notice this all going on. But as soon as Josh Gates from the Travel Channel's Expedition Unknown walks in the room, she's stalking him like a panther, and goes and jumps on him and sticks to his chest like sticky tape. We had to pry her loose, and she made the sound of Velcro when we pulled her loose of him, and I had to save Josh Gates from this hormonal attack. And and I scolded Brenda on her lack of professionalism. And anyway, we got our picture taken with Josh Gates, and he was happy that I saved him. But you know, I sit there. I seen another guy, Ron Rieger. He used to work for Douglas Aircraft, and he's an aeronautic engineer. And wow, we had a great conversation, and he introduced me to Clifford Mahudi. He's like a Zuni Pueblo tribe, and he's going to speak at the International UFO Conference on the Star People. And I also talked to another guy that was pretty cool, Don Schmidt. He was like a UFO museum curator, and then I got to talk to Jesse Marcel III, which he's the grandson of the guy who you see in the Roswell UFO pictures holding up the balloon. The balloon, they said, was not the UFO, but it's the old picture, black and white picture. He's the grandson of that guy, and he's got a new book out, and he was telling me some of the stuff about all I guess the Wright-Patterson airfield over there, and some of the crazy stuff that's gone on over there. And I don't know, it sounds to me like some of the stuff he tell me, like E.T. wants her craft back. You know, some crazy stuff going on over there, you know. But you know, and we got to talk to all these great guys. It was great. But you know, I talked to another guy. You know, there was a guy over there named Tom Reed, and I went and talked to this guy. He's a ufologist, and he's only interested in the Roswell UFO, which sounds to me, if you're a ufologist only interested in the Roswell UFO, it's kind of like playing tennis and choosing to play with one eye closed. I have a few other adjectives I'd like to use to describe him, but it doesn't go very well with radio. And I'm at the UFO Museum, and I look over, there's Stanton Friedman sitting there by himself at the table. Nobody's talking to him. I couldn't believe my eyes. I went over there, and so I talked probably 3 to 4 to 5 minutes to Stanton Friedman. And I think people realized finally who he was, and started coming over. But I was just amazed. It just shocked me that Stanton Friedman was sitting there in a crowd of people and nobody's paying any attention to him. I was shocked. So I beat it over there, and I had a good conversation with Stanton Friedman, and we left the museum, and it was getting pretty hot. So me and my trusty camera woman Brenda, who's still crushing on this Josh Gates fella and giving him way too much information about the motel we're staying at and the room number. And I couldn't have made my head to think the amount of liquor Josh Gates would have to drink before he would pursue that kind of endeavor. But anyway, we got out of there, and I apologize for my cameraman's unprofessional behavior. But anyway, we decided we would go to the Galacticon, which was down the road and also in air conditioning. So we went down to the Galacticon on the other end of town, and the Breaking Bad RV was parked in front of the thing. And I guess their stars were there, and they were giving people tours through the Breaking Bad RV. You know, now, I might have went for that, except I'd never seen not one episode of the Breaking Bad. So I wouldn't know what I was looking at, you know, if I would have done it. But we went inside the Galacticon, and there was a blue Power Ranger for you guys that are into that. And they had speakers in here too, so we went and seen who was speaking, and there was a guy that I was wanting to see. There's a guy named Jack Brewer, and we listened to his talk, and he was talking about the government military labs and some of the crazy stuff they had been doing, and how they're and what they were working on was like implanting memories in people, then triggering those memories. And he's thinking that Corey Goode and some of these other guys that are coming up with some of these wild stories, it's government military implants put into people, and that's something that they're into right now, which is kind of a scary thought if that is the case that's going on. But anyway, the Jack Brewer guy, you know, he talked like he was a real skeptic about the whole ufology thing, and he said he was really wanting to believe, and he was wanting some real solid evidence, and so, you know, that I took that as my invitation to talk to him after the talk, and he was he was really open to talk to, and I give him some of the evidence and stuff that I got, and he was really excited to check it out. So I'm hoping to maybe get back in touch with him at some point. But anyway, I had a couple of good interviews with the press. I can't remember. There's some independent filmmakers too film me on an interview or two. I got some good press interviews, and we displayed some UFO Buster freeware. And anyway, I enjoyed talking to a lot of people, and it was an amazing event. And you have to realize that this thing is so scattered out, and there's so much going on that you really have to have a game plan, and you have to have arrangements to get from point A to point B, because some of these venues are 3 miles apart. So you really have to hustle to get where you're going so that you can check them out, and you really have to. I mean, it's more than you can really see in one trip. And I mean, it's an amazing event. If you've never seen it, you should check it out. It's and it will blow you away. And you know, I realize that there's a lot of big time UFO fans at this thing, and they travel. I met people from New York. I met people that traveled from California. You know, we drove 6 hours, and I thought that was a lot. These guys have been driving 2 or 3 days to get there, and you know, and these guys are committed. These guys are dedicated, and they're excited about the UFO field, and it's awesome to talk to that kind of people. Some of the other people there are just they're just regular folks that come down to look at the UFO nuts, you know. And those people are just the kind of people that are boring anyway, you know. But there's going to be those guys too, but when you're looking at freaky UFO people, you know, Tom Reed. Yeah, Tom Reed is definitely one of them. I should go look at him. But anyway, I enjoyed it very much. I'm looking forward to some more UFO events. And if you ever get the chance, you should check out Roswell. It's an awesome event, and you'll have a great time like we did. And we appreciate it. And this is Ronny Dawson signing out. Thank you very much.